We are back. We are plugged in. Welcome back, segment 3.
Mic's on.
Mic is on. We are in business. Yep, the big black dildo. Anyway, so, what? It's not kind of welcome back to IDD. That is, I do not disagree. Anyway, moving on. So, we are back, segment 3, truth bomb, reality bomb, myth, whatever, on the Bo Sox at the worst time. You know, you talk about kicking a team when it's down. I don't know how many of you caught this, but I wanted Tom's take on it because I don't know if this ever happened to him or a team of his. But so they're at the All-Star break. The Red Sox had 3 representatives, as you know. They're taking a nice picture together, and Mookie Betts, remember that name, right, ladies and gentlemen? Mookie Betts photo bombs. It ducks his arm underneath the arms of 2 of them, gets in a picture, and the first quote was "Brothers for life. That don't change no matter where we go." And they're referring to the 2018 World Series championship, the last one they won. So whoever took that picture, and there was a reporter himself or whoever, but they got an interview with Mr. Betts, and a very, very interesting answer to a very, very interesting question came up. So the reporter asked him, why did he go to LA? Why did he switch coasts? And he goes, they offered more. And he goes, so you're saying if the Red Sox had matched that offer, you'd still be in Boston? Definitely. Absolutely. Now, I heard that the moment it came out of his mouth, and I almost fell out of my chair because the narrative up in Beantown was that, at least among the fans, was that he wasn't going to stay no matter what they offered him because his wife wanted out. She wanted the West Coast. She wanted that lifestyle, all this other stuff for his brand, blah, 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 blah. He comes out 2 years later and basically drops a bomb on her. So I guess the question is, who do you believe? Were the Red Sox ever really seriously in this? Was he going to leave no matter what? Or was this a matter of give him the 12 years at 365 versus the 10 years at 300? It's not like the Sox couldn't have done it. He's one of the best. He might be the best at his position in the sport. So
after reading what he said, I believe what he said.
I do too. And I heard it live.
So it was during the All-Star game? Or like right before it?
They show the picture first. And then it cuts to, I don't know what network I was looking at when I saw this, because I had gone back and forth between MLB and ESPN. I don't know where I was when, but basically, the look, the expression, the way he said it was like nonchalant, yeah, duh.
He basically was like, I'd be in Boston.
I'd be in Boston. The way he said it, I'm like.
He wasn't lying.
So you hear that as a Red Sox. Okay.
But why was the assumption the other way in Boston?
I don't know who started that narrative.
With your racist asses.
I'll leave that one alone for now.
We talked about how Boston gets a bad rap.
We did, but they're still up there. Those people need to be flushed out.
I know, but do you?
Because they are there. There's not many of them, but they're there.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you think those people had anything to do with that narrative? Like blame the player? Yeah, although I feel like that happens. That happens in a lot of cities.
Totally possible. I'm just saying
that's
that.
Not just the Boston.
This came from the horse's mouth. Okay, so to me, you hear that. That's kind of like now you're looking at management, going, all right, is he telling the truth here?
He's got to.
Because if this is the thing,
why would he say that out loud?
Yeah, but the thing is, the Red Sox are going to deny this. You know why? Because if they admit that.
But to me, it makes it seem like he doesn't want to be in LA. So if he really didn't,
why would you not want to be in LA?
He's saying he rather would be in Boston.
I mean, I'm saying if he's telling the truth, I'm talking about I understand the wife hating the weather, and I understand all that. But if you're making that kind of money, you don't have one home.
Right.
You have your business home where you're going to live while he's working for the team, and then when he retires, you're going to your other home and you're selling this one. That's what happens. Okay. So, but half the year you're there anyway, because when it's not in season, you're there, you're not here. So that's always been my thing. Again, no, but I have no actual proof on that, but I've heard a number of stories.
But my point is, I don't see any reason for him to lie because
I don't.
Because him saying this out loud makes it sound like Yeah, I'd rather be in Boston.
Well, it came up because Bogarts and Devers are in there, and Big Papi, how Papi rolls. He comes out and he's like, you need to pay these two whatever, and he's damn right. He's right. Because what's the alternative? Okay, these guys are in their prime. They're actually not even in their prime yet. They're both young. The best years are ahead of them.
Bogarts and Devers aren't prime yet.
I don't think so. I'll check their age.
Either way, they're still good.
They're going to be. They're young. They're on the right side of 30. They're not diminishing anytime soon. So, and they both made the All-Star team. So I'm like, look,
I like Mookie Betts.
I love Mookie Betts. I'm still mad that he left.
He seems like a very likable player.
He's like Steph Curry. Reminds me of Steph Curry. You can't, as much as you want to hate Steph Curry, you can't hate him. He's just like him. So I mean, there are people that are like that.
Yeah, they're really good.
I mean, that's not my problem in life. But I mean, so I'm very easy to hate. It's okay. But anyway, so I understand that. I'm okay with it. But
highly hateable. We should do like a top 10 list of highly hateables.
You sure it's only 10? It's probably more than that.
No, I mean, you got to force.
You probably could do like a weekly top 25, and it wouldn't be boring. You're like, who didn't make the top 25?
No, I'm saying like most hated. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we should definitely do it. We will do that. We will do that.
I guess people have done that.
Oh, I'm sure they've done it, but have they actually done it? Put a list up there for the world to see? Because boys and girls, we're going to do that.
Yeah, because I think I remember different polls. Like they do polls in the NBA. Like
they do what they do.
Who do you think is like the most overrated and shit?
Well, overrated is one thing. Hated is another.
To me, if people think you're overrated, they hate you.
If they think you're overrated, you don't matter. Unless when you're mad, if they're on your team, they're on your team. It matters. But if it's another team, you don't.
To me, I think if you think someone's overrated, that means you're hating on what other people say good about them.
If they're on your team and you think that, that's a real problem. Oh, yeah. If it's somebody else, you don't give a shit. Yeah, or no, whatever. But I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. If you didn't give a shit,
if it's your team, though,
if you didn't give a shit, why would you even care that somebody was overrated? To call someone overrated,
maybe they did. Maybe somebody in the group said it. And they just, whatever. I don't care. I'm sorry. Anyway, so with these two coming up, look, the Red Sox better not drop the ball and let either one of them get away. Okay, and no, I'm serious because honestly, those two and JD Martinez, that's their. You got to build around those guys.
JD's a little older though, right?
He is, but he can go to DH and last longer.
His numbers are unreal.
Yeah, he's a consistent.
Got 30 doubles in the first half.
Yeah, he's as consistent as gravity. He really is. So I mean, even when he slumps, you don't even realize it. So I mean,
60 doubles.
Yeah, probably. So he'll probably flirt with 30 home runs again. I mean, so he just does that. So anyway, if he stays healthy, but the Sox need pitching. The Sox need pitching. Sox need
ladybug.
So we'll see what happens there. But I just saw when I heard that. What do you think about that? Those of you in Red Sox Nation, is Betts telling the truth here? And will the Red Sox respond to that comment? Because I gotta believe that's going to come up in the next press conference in Boston, and someone's going to demand an answer. Otherwise, I've lost faith in the Boston media. Those cynic. That's one thing I love about their cynicism. Somebody better be writing that question down. Better be more than one of them going. Your response? I want to hear what the Red Sox management has to say about that, because this came down to 2 years and $65 million. That ain't Boston's problem. If that's all it would take to keep him, they should have done it. They definitely should have done it. Okay, they haven't been the same since. So, anyway, that's my rant on that for the night.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
This is the second time this year that there's been a controversial statement about like a contract. First time was Freddie Freeman.
Mr. Freeman.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeman. Well, we're gonna.
Freddie Freeman fired his agent because the word was they didn't show him Atlanta's last offer.
I remember you saying this.
And that's why he signed with LA, because he thought Braves didn't offer.
Somebody withheld it.
But then they came out and said that's not true. We didn't get an offer from Atlanta. But Freeman fired the agency over it.
Well, that's pretty telling.
Yeah.
So somebody's not telling somebody the truth there. We're going to transition to the NFL. Training camp, we are back, folks. NFL is back. The Las Vegas Raiders reported veterans today. First thing on the docket was and this was posted by actually a couple of places. ESPN was one of them. But did Devonte Adams make the right decision leaving Aaron Rodgers and going with David Carr? There was a lot of interesting takes on this, and people came down on both sides. And I get why. And one of them was Mad Dog, who thought that. Well, again, he went to his old school. I couldn't leave Green Bay. It's so nostalgic. I have to play in nostalgia. And Jay Williams is like, what? You know, Kohler gets there in December? Screw that. I'd go to Vegas. So, screw nostalgia. So, but it went deeper than that. The thing that I found interesting, and my take on it, was always that the quarterback he was joining, David Carr, in this case, is a better than average quarterback who took his team to the playoffs last year amidst a chaos. I'll tell you what, last year for the Raiders, I've seen some haymakers to hit teams. The Raiders had 3 or 4 of them in like a 6-week span. 2 or 3 of them rather. One of them, beginning with Gruden's imminent departure, stepping down because of those racial emails. That was
yeah, man.
That just. I mean,
does he get paid?
I don't know if they bought him out. I don't know what they did with him. I know he countersued the league and the Commanders for leaking those when it wasn't even part of the investigation.
He sued them?
He sued the NFL, and yeah, he did. So, and we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, the point was, football is back. Did Devonte Adams make the right decision? I get that Aaron Rodgers is a 4-time MVP. I get that he's probably the most talented, in terms of talent, most talented quarterback we've ever seen. Patrick Mahomes probably has something to say about that before he's done. But that's debatable, sure. I get it. And the numbers with those two have been glorious. They've been the best tandem probably in the league for the past 5 years in terms of production. However, my thing has always been Aaron Rodgers is getting a free pass, not just for the lame duck division he plays in, but because the Green Bay Packers have gone out of their way to give this guy everything he wants. They even brought back Randall Cobb last year for crying out loud. Okay, so they've done it. They've done what they won 39 games in 3 years. That is the most in the NFL. You can't tell me the front office isn't doing, and they've been in 2 of the 3 last NFC Championship games. They were at home in both of them and lost. But now this is, man, if you're 13-3, ladies and gentlemen, and you're hosting the conference championship game, your front office did their fucking job. They did. Here's where the front office is screwing up, because they listen to all the crap that you and I listen to. And everybody's enamored with this guy who can, like I said, he can split the needle in a haystack with a football. He's godlike. I mean, so.
Last time he said it like, and he can throw a football through a needle in a haystack.
Yes, I mean that
was good.
That's how they talk about him. So, if you're that good, okay, how have you not won 7 Super Bowls? Because you walk on water apparently. There isn't a throw you can't make. You could punt it out of your bunghole and you could hit the guy 50 yards in stride for a touchdown. That's how they talk about him. And yet Devonte Adams, who's had success with this guy, no hesitation, took that deal and ran. What does that say about Aaron Rodgers? That's a valid, think about that for a minute. In that cupcake division, he went to the AFC West, Murderers Row, 2022 edition. He went there. He didn't just go anywhere. He went there. That's telling. And nobody's really looked at that from this perspective yet. But we're going to tonight. Okay?
Nobody's looked at that?
No. Today was the first time this came up publicly. And Ryan Clark was the first guy that looked at this the way I've looked at it. Aaron Rodgers is the problem in Green Bay, not anybody else. You pay a guy that kind of money to get you over the hump. Okay, if you're 13-3 and you're in the NFC title game twice in 3 years and you're hosting that game, you can't tell me the front office didn't do its job. I refuse to believe that. He's got a running game. He's got a defense. He had the number 1 receiver in the league. Okay, but this guy bolted. He bolted to the toughest division in the sport with a quarterback who has not had anywhere near, and again, I think Carr's a good quarterback, but he has not had anywhere near the level of Aaron Rodgers' success. He didn't even hesitate. What does it tell you? Your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm actually
Not
so
thinking.
no. I'm listening to what you said. I was looking up an article
Okay.
titled "Packers Aaron Rodgers is selfish, disliked by teammates." Coaches ex-NFL GM says. So that's
disgruntled sports talk
so
show host from Massachusetts.
So I was listening and I was researching.
And you were finding
because
gasoline.
not only are we the talent, we're also the research department.
This is true.
And that's
We do
what
it all.
makes us versatile,
Yeah.
agile, hostile.
And mobile.
In what movie?
Who was it?
Remember the Titans?
Ah, yes.
Wasn't it?
I think.
When they're doing the conditioning?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So,
I think so.
I mean,
I think so.
it's tough to say. I have a hard time saying Aaron Rodgers is the problem in Green Bay.
Because of his numbers.
Yeah, because he's great, man. He's an all-time great.
He is. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot.
You know,
I give him a vote.
So I have a hard time saying he's the problem, but I think it's fair to say, like, it doesn't seem like he's making things easy.
Why would Aaron Rodgers not take a pay cut to make sure that guy stays?
Oh, so you don't think he tried?
I don't think he tried at all. I think he never cared about it. I think he thinks he can doesn't matter who's out there, he's out there, and that's all that matters. And by the way, the track record has proven him wrong on that every time.
So you think he should have taken a pay cut so they could go to Devonte Adams and say, here's $80 million. I don't know. What
I have a hard time with a guy who can't be happy with $35 million a year.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with that guy, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why. Maybe it's
What's he making now?
50. So if he took $15 million a year less to ensure Devonte Adams gets a max contract, and how much money has Rodgers made already?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, from this seat, yeah, that's an easy decision because from this seat, $15 million is life altering.
Aaron Rodgers.
But I don't know when you're
made-
that rich, maybe you just become an asshole.
Yeah, I don't know if he. From what I was told, he was always an asshole. He's been estranged from his family for who knows how long. Talked to his ex-girlfriends. Every damn one of them has the same damn thing to say about him, and it ain't good.
What do they say about him?
He's a very narcissistic, very self-centered.
Okay.
It's got to be his way. He's very possessive. He's this, so. Now that's verbatim. I didn't hear anything that Shailene Woodley and Olivia Munn, two of my favorites, but those are the last two girls that dated him. And that's kind of thereabouts verbatim where their description was with him. That that there was too much of this, it wasn't enough, it had to be his way.
What did he say? He was immunized?
Is that what he said?
What was his skirt around the vaccination?
Oh yeah, he was immunized.
He said, I'm immunized.
I didn't
Is
know
that what
that-
he said?
I didn't even know that was a word.
Might be.
I've never, it probably is. I
What
mean,
he drank some orange juice or something like that?
I don't know what he did.
I've been immunized.
He lied is what he did.
Come on, Aaron.
And by the way, the
don't
media,
do that.
kudos to the media for finally they caught him on it and they called him on it. Because they should have. Because he misled everyone.
Just tell the truth.
He misled a whole organization who has bent over backwards for him since they got him. They ran Brett Favre out of town for this guy.
Dude, but
Okay,
imagine,
I mean-
and like with the COVID protocols, being a quarterback, not being vaccinated, if you get it, like it can take you out for a while, right? You could miss 2 games.
Yeah, and you're in everything. You can take out a whole half of the football. So,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, because they're in all the meetings, they're doing the quarterbacks everywhere.
Yeah, he's their team.
Yeah, he's
At least it feels like that sometimes.
Well, we're going to find out.
I know
now.
you said the GM is doing their job, and sure, they are.
He's got 2 very good running backs here. He's got a very good
That's
defense.
true. But
He's not, the cupboard isn't bare.
But if you put Jordan Love in, they're not close to what they are with it.
No, look at this.
You know,
I laugh.
I agree with what you're saying.
No, I do. No, I know.
I agree totally with what
No,
you're
what
saying.
I'm saying. Well, no, I'm not mad at you. I'm saying what bothers me, particularly about the media, and I understand why athletes say it because they have to have that mindset, the next man up mindset. But there's a reason why the starter makes what he makes and the backup makes what he makes. There's a very, 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 very discernible difference in talent.
Well, there should be.
Yeah, but there is. So when that guy goes out, you can't expect that team to be the same. You can't replace a Tom Brady. You can't replace an Aaron Rodgers. You can't replace guys like that. You can't replace with Devonte Adams. This is why I think Green Bay's going to take it up, get it really bad this year, because they don't have at least. And I understand what you said, Mahomes the other night. I get it. I agree with you. He's going to suffer, but not the way Aaron Rodgers is going to suffer. Because Mahomes still has weapons. He still has an All-Pro in Travis Kelce. He still has a 1,000-yard receiver in Juju Smith-Schuster on the outside. He still has other options. What does Aaron Rodgers have?
Yeah.
What does Aaron Rodgers have?
It feels like Aaron Rodgers does a lot with not that much. But maybe I'm wrong.
Last time he lost Jordy Nelson, man, he had a rough year. I don't know what his
But
worst.
like Jordy Nelson was never anything before.
He was a Pro Bowler. No, but the point is, when he lost him, he struggled.
Yeah.
He did. And this guy's better than Jordy Nelson.
But I still feel like the Packers would be 12-4, or is it 12-5?
They might be, because that division's still.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
they might be.
They'll still be the same thing. They'll go into the playoffs and they'll get beat.
But yeah, but that's the problem. This is where he is justifiably getting criticized.
No,
he's only 11-10 in the postseason.
Yeah. No, but if we're going back to that argument, like, I still think he'll have a similar season. Now, I could be dead wrong.
This Peyton Manning got flack for this year until he finally broke through. Great regular season, postseason. But he finally broke through. Yeah. Rodgers has won, but Rodgers hasn't been there in a decade. Okay? He's had 3 NFC Conference Championship games on his own lawn, and he's lost all 3 of them. Explain this to me. If he's that good and you're in that game, he should be the piece that gets you over the top. Yeah. You're on the doorstep. He's going to kick the damn. He's there to do that. He's failed every time he's had a chance to do it.
No, they won one.
They won one. They're 1-4. He is 1-4.
Yeah,
1-5 now.
He hasn't failed every time.
He is 1-5 in the NFC title game. That is a bad number.
He's been in 6 title games.
He's 1-5. He's been in 6. Okay. He has failed. Well, no, he's been in 5. He's one out of the 5. He's 1-4.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I thought you were saying 1 and 5.
I meant to say 1. He's 1 out of 5. Right? I'm sorry. I apologize. He's 1 out of 5.
Still
he's been
5.
That's a lot. Yeah, he's lost 4 of them.
I know.
And 3 of them were on his field. Explain that. And they were the number 1 seed legitimately in every one of those.
What do you think about Jim Kelly?
Jim Kelly.
I mean, they had some good teams.
They did. The problem was the NFC at that time was so much better than the AFC.
So you think the champ coming out of the AFC just
this went on for like 15 years in a row. I mean, I'm not making it up. After the Raiders won, the LA Raiders, rather, they beat Marcus Allen's famous run there in '83. The NFC went on a run where they won 15 in a row before the Broncos broke through in '98 with Elway and Terrell Davis and those guys. Yeah. 15 years. And most of those Super Bowls weren't close. I know my team was in one of them, and thank God for the Denver Broncos, because my team had the distinction of worst bum blasting in Super Bowl history until Denver got bum blasted by the Niners 55-10.
What about the Giants against the Ravens?
34-10 is nowhere near as bad as 55.
Is that what it was? 34-10?
34-10 is nowhere near.
Yeah, but it wasn't that close.
No.
I don't think it was as close as 34.
The guy I went to high school, Greg Camelo, was on that team, Giants, from Wellesley, Mass.
Tell him, good job.
Yeah. Well, he was a fullback. I don't know what the hell a fullback's going to do against that.
Come on, man. You should have been running through that line.
For being honest, that Ravens defense is probably top 5 all time. Oh. That year, they were probably top 5 all time. Them, the Tampa defense in 02, obviously the 85 Bears, that steel curtain back in the set. I mean, they're tough. That's what they are. The Giants.
The Giants, 2007.
The Giants in '86. LT.
I was kidding about the Giants.
No, the Patriots dropped 38 on them the last time they faced.
Just kidding.
So, but Braves on 2 good legs.
One of the most prolific offenses ever. Held them to 14 in the Super Bowl. Not bad.
No, not bad.
Not bad.
Best player on one leg, but I digress. The numbers don't lie.
They don't.
Look at the numbers when he's on 2 good legs versus 1. There's a drastic difference. So, anyway.
I know. I was kidding.
I know you were kidding.
That Giants defense was not that great.
It still hurts. It still hurts, Tom. And you're going to keep doing it. Little jab, jab.
It's all I have.
Move jab.
It's all I have.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Anyway, so Devonte Adams, did he make the right call?
You think
I think he did because David Carr took that team to the playoffs with everything that could have gone wrong. He didn't have a number one. He finished in the top five in yardage, total yards, okay, as a quarterback. That's elite company. That's Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes company. That's where he finished. He didn't have the touchdown passes because he didn't have a guy like him on the outside. Now he does. And by the way, what's Aaron Rodgers going to do this year without this guy? Because I don't see anybody in that receiving core that even vaguely makes me sweat. Not even a little bit. Not even a little, one coming down the side here. If you get out of the shower too quick and it's still too hot. One of those drips, little beads, sweat. Not even one of those. Green Bay have anybody in their receiving core like that. Okay? Now, if Aaron Rodgers is Tom Brady, now who do you key on? Okay, if he can do that, morph into that guy, I don't know, maybe he can. So, he better. He better because he took max money and this guy walked. So, to me, the Raiders have a much better shot, even though they're in a tougher division. And clearly, Adams wasn't afraid of that. So, what does that say about, I need to go play with this guy instead of this guy? So, and if it came down to more money, and Rodgers could have done something about that, there's another question. So, that's my take on that. We're going to close this segment out for the evening. We'll be back. I'm going to do a show once up there next week. Tommy, I'll be back in about 10 days' time. We will be full. The football season will be in full swing.
I don't get to give my take on Devonte.
You have a take on Devonte?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your take?
I was looking up Derek Carr stats.
Okay, let's hear your take.
Because, what's the deal with Eric Carr?
David.
I mean, it's Derek. It's Derek, not David. And it's not Eric either. It's Derek.
I was closer than you. I had a D.
Yeah, but you had the wrong name. I had Eric. I was just missing the D. What do you think's better?
D.
The D is better.
The first letter of the name.
David is his brother.
David's his brother. Well, that's the other name. His brother.
The New York Giants backup.
That's what
It wasn't very good. But I don't know. Has he missed a lot of time due to injury? Because, or did he got injured when they were in their best season headed into the playoffs? Remember that?
I did, yeah.
Carr broke his leg in Week 16 in 2016 and missed the rest of the season. Week 16 broke his leg, and they were good that year.
He had a 94 rating as a quarterback. He had a completion percentage, what was it? 68%, very good. Threw for just under 5,000 yards, 48.04. Didn't have a guy like Devonte on the outside, not since college, by the way. That's how far back they go. And they were magical there. So
I wonder if this is going to make Derek Carr a lot better.
It is going to make him a lot better. Because if he did that without him,
this is the best receiver he's
ever had. Right? And now he has this guy to go with the tight end in the middle and Renfro on the other side. They are a problem, ladies and gentlemen. They made the playoffs last year. They are a problem. Don't sleep on the Raiders. And that, I don't care if it's tough division football. And look, Josh McDaniels, this is his moment to shine. Second time around, he's got a loaded offense, man, and he's going to open up the playbook and let these guys play and make the put pressure. He's got all the weapons to do it. So this is going to be very interesting to see what they do.
Waller. Waller is the
tight end is.
That's the guy.
He's a
Waller.
beast. He's a beast.
He was really good this year. So I don't think Derek Carr is as good as Aaron Rodgers.
Doesn't have to be.
That's true.
Doesn't have to be.
But is the Raiders' defense good?
The Raiders' secondary is their front four is good. Secondary is their problem. But that whole division, listen.
But if they can throw up points with
that division is going to be haymaker central every time two of those teams look out. All of their offenses are loaded. All of their defenses are secondaries. Denver probably has the best top three levels.
So you're saying they're all going to be like 34,
these are going to be shootouts.
Like
going to be a lot of shit. The AFC West going to be Wild Wild West like you never believed.
42 to 37.
There are three definite Hall of Fame quarterbacks in that division, potentially four.
List them.
Mahomes, Wilson.
I forgot.
Yeah, Wilson.
Okay.
Herbert. San Diego, who's going to be that kid's on his way.
It's not Hebert.
Herbert.
Remember, Brian was calling him Hebert last year.
Yeah, I know. It's Herbert. And then you have Derek Carr.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
Not right now, he isn't, but if he keeps throwing 4,800 yards a year, he will be.
I think so.
Those are Hall of Fame numbers. His problem, and I heard this. Where I heard it.
I have to watch
His
it.
problem is he had too many turnovers in the fourth quarter in the red zone. Okay, which probably means they were double teaming the tight end, and he didn't. And Renfro either didn't win enough of his battles, or he was the only other option. They took him out too. He was 23 and 14, touchdown interception ratio, not quite 2-1, but 68% of his passes is tough to ignore. He was accurate. So, but now you throw this guy
in this
mix?
game, you need more touchdown passes than that.
Well, they just threw it. They just inserted the best receiver
you're right.
in football.
That's a good point.
So my question is, what's Aaron Rodgers' touchdown total going to look like without him? And what's this guy's touchdown total going to look like with him? Don't be surprised if it flips. And Rodgers will probably still throw between 25 and 30. He's still going to do that. But this guy is going to flirt with 40 touchdowns with this guy. He will, because he had more. How many did Devonte have last year? Touchdowns.
You're saying Derek Carr is going to throw 40 TDs?
He's going to flirt with it, I said. He was
All right,
23
yeah,
without
that-
this.
I know.
Yeah, he was 23 without this guy. If this guy is what I think he is, he's going to flirt with 40. And you can't double team anybody in that Raiders.
Unless he gets inaccurate for some reason.
68% is not inaccurate. But in the fourth quarter, when they were pressing, they were probably behind a lot. That's where a lot of those turnovers happened. He's got to clean that up.
So I accidentally searched Devonte Adams TD passes, and it popped up with 0. And I was like, 0 TD pass? Oh, yeah, he's not a quarterback. Had to switch it around to TD catches. There's a total of 73. Let me see if I
It's
can
late.
see if I can get a breakdown real quick.
Yeah. Go career stats.
2021. Well, I gave you the career stat. Oh, dear. He only had 11 touchdowns last year?
Yeah, because they double teamed him. They didn't. Who else?
I guess
did Green-
11's pretty solid.
11's solid, and he had no help. It had to be him. Now you got the tight end. You got Renfro. How do you can't even double team this guy right now?
But see,
Now he's 1-on-1.
So in 2020, he had 18.
Yeah, so he's got 29 2 years. So that's 14 a year. That's his average.
That's good.
That's great. So
Yeah.
if he's averaging 14 a year, this guy was the 23 without him.
I
By
don't
the
know
way,
that he's
by the way, because he's out there, do you think Weller's job and Renfro's job just got easier? They're going to be open more now too, because you can't double team either one of them. He's going to flirt with 40 touchdowns this year if these three stay healthy. I'll tell you that right now. He's going to flirt, and he may get it. Okay. So, because they are a passing team, Josh McDaniels is a passing coach.
How many TDs will Devonte have?
This year, he'll have between 12 and 16.
Oh, that's a big spread.
He's the
Get it within 2.
14-6.
14 to 16.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the other two guys are going to be flirting with it too. He's going to have all three of these guys. He's not going to. This is where Devonte.
This should help Waller.
Devonte. It's going to help Waller a lot.
Yeah.
Devonte's got max money, and he doesn't have to do as much. He's still going to get his numbers because now you can't double team him like you could in Green Bay. So, to me, I think he made the right decision. I think Aaron Rodgers has had things done his way. And Ryan Clark brought up an interesting point about the Packers Super Bowl team. He said that Aaron Rodgers wasn't the leader of that team. He said it was Clay Matthews.
Dude, Ryan Clark
said
is
it-
throwing darts.
He was nailing it. Okay, he was Aaron putting the football through the needle in the haystack. Okay, he had Ryan Clark's like it was Clay Matthews and it was remember this name, Charles Woodson. He said that defense was number 2 in the league that year.
The two of them played together?
They were on that Super Bowl team, and he said they were the leaders of that team, not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been a leader for 11 years.
Where's Clay Matthews now?
Retired.
He's done?
He's been done.
Jeez. That's an interesting point.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know he wasn't the leader of that team. It was Clay Matthews, and it was Charles Woodson. Those two guys were the team.
Yeah.
Those two were the leaders, which makes sense when you think about it. Because Rodgers was much younger then. Those guys were veterans. They had more time on that team than him. So I understand. I'm not knocking Rodgers for that, but because he wasn't the oldest guy. I don't think the 2001 Patriots were Brady's team. I think it was the defense's team.
Right.
But the defense didn't have a quarterback, kind of like Tampa last year, 2 years ago. Then Tom Brady goes in, and all of a sudden now that defense looks even better because this guy can pull the trigger when he has to. And not that he's accurate and he makes great decisions. So he doesn't put your defense in bad positions like Bledsoe. Bledsoe was susceptible to interceptions. That was one problem. Brady doesn't throw a lot of picks. So that's big for your defense. They're not against the wall. So, anyway, I'm not holding that against Rodgers per se because he was younger. But he has been there 11 years since then. He's been to 4 NFC title games. He's 0-4. He's had things done his way, and 3 of those were on his turf. That's kind of hard to ignore. And then you turn around and you say the front office isn't doing their job. And you've had that many cracks at it. You got to have good personnel to have that many cracks at something in a decade. Just saying. So I don't believe they were bad. They weren't doing their job. Anna, that's my take on it. You believe? What do you think? Did Devonte do the right thing, or did he do the wrong?
Well, I mean, for me, it's never the wrong thing to sign a giant contract. Like, I would never say, like, oh, you did the wrong thing, you went and got paid. But I never would have thought he would come out better performance-wise until we had this conversation. Mm-hmm. And thinking about it, it's like, yeah, he might not need Aaron Rodgers.
Doesn't.
You know, like, you can get somebody that can throw a decent ball.
He needs help.
Yeah.
You look at the supporting cast on this team as opposed to the one he left. It's night and day.
But how many people would say that the Raiders are better than the Packers?
Right now, I think a lot of them.
Before that, though.
They were both in the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Raiders barely got in, didn't they?
This is more the Aaron Rodgers effect. Because if ESPN, who scrubs his scrotum the way that women scrub Belichick's, if he's on every other day, what are people going to think? It's Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers. Mm-hmm. And Aaron Rodgers last year in his arrogant self said, look, people don't come to Green Bay because of the weather. They come to Green Bay to play with me. He said that. That's a quote. Okay? What an asshole. And here's the problem.
What an asshole.
Here's the problem. Everyone knows that. It wasn't like he just discovered fire. Okay? Everyone knows why you go to Green Bay. It is not for the frozen tundra. I'm pretty sure it's not on the brochure if you vacate. That's not the thing unless you like to ice fish. Okay? You're going to play with Aaron fucking Rodgers. Everyone knows that. There is no need to say that. Only a narcissist nutjob says something like that. Exhibit A, Aaron Rodgers.
Exhibit A.
Okay? Who, you know, by all accounts, that's his MO. He comes first. So, you know how I feel about that. So,
He comes first.
he comes first. Everybody else, even Devonte Adams. Whatever. Best receiver I ever played with. Yeah, so far. Okay, Aaron. Good job. Good luck this year, pal. You're lucky. You're lucky you're in the NFC North. You're lucky. Okay.
You're lucky. Look at
lucky.
yourself.
Look at
yourself.
Yeah. So that's where we are on that. We are going to break for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to keep these below 40, 20, whatever.
Oh, geez, yeah, we got up to 40.
We're
going to break for a week.
We're going to break for a week.
Well, you're going to touch down.
I'm going to do one next week, and then Tommy and I will be back together again, back and better than ever. It'll be the Friday. Well, Fridays, we do a Friday one. I'll be back on Friday. We'll do a Friday night one.
And whoever sits down here next to him, just know, you're only a fill-in.
Oh, borrowed time.
Okay?
Borrowed time. You're the B squad.
There's no longevity in this.
You're the B squad.
I appreciate you keeping my partner company.
Keep the seat warm.
But yeah,
Keep the seat warm. Okay?
don't get too comfortable.
Yeah, like Stephen A. Stephen A. went on. He recovered for this. The guy says, "Yes, don't get too comfortable.
Don't get too comfortable."
Keeping that seat warm for Stephen A. So whoever is in here next week, and we're going to keep that a secret till we get up north. That's
enjoy it while it lasts.
Enjoy your moment. Enjoy your 15 minutes. Okay? So you guys have a great weekend.
15 minutes of.
You have a great weekend. I will see you next week. We'll be back a week from Friday. Okay? So check us out, obviously on Facebook. We should do Facebook, shouldn't we? But on YouTube, comment section below, give us a yay and nay or what the, who the, hey, the, where the, who, whatever. And any of the topics we touched tonight. We did 3 segments tonight, so pick any one of them, or hopefully all 3.
If somebody leaves a comment that says the who, the hey, the whoa, that's amazing. They should try.
You are a new baby. We're going to give you a shout out.
That's right.
If you, yes. Absolutely. The world's going to know who you are. We get through it if you do that.
That's right.
So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your week and the weekend. Tomorrow's Thursday, and we'll touch base with you next week. Hasta luego. Hasta la vista. Yeah, either one works.
No. Hasta la. Hasta luego is best until the soon, because you don't really know when you're going to see him. You know it's going to be soon.
Hasta luego.
Yeah, that's better.
See, scoring for the. There you go. Enjoy.
Oh, and I am just over a week without SIGs. You may have noticed I'm not chimnified over here.
Kudos to him. 8 days? 9 days?
I guess it's like 8 or 9.
8 or 9. That's over 7.
I can't count days right now. I haven't had a cigarette since last Monday.
That's good. So it's
a week and 2 days.
9 days. Solid. All right. Root for him. Keep that going. And hopefully
Probably gained 7 pounds in that week.
Isogenics is for
We'll get it together.
We'll get it together. Yeah, you get it together. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers.